Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky will visit the US on Wednesday, and he'll address Congress and meet with President Joe Biden. The international community condemned the Taliban's ruling of banning women attending university in Afghanistan with immediate effect. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky has confirmed he'll visit Washington on Wednesday. It'll be his first known trip outside Ukraine since Russia's invasion began in February. The trip to Washington is set to include an address to Congress on Capitol Hill and a meeting with President Joe Biden. It comes as lawmakers have reportedly agreed to send Ukraine a €1.8 billion military package that will for the first time include a Patriot missile. Zelensky has previously addressed various parliaments and international organisations by video, and he has sent his wife to foreign capitals to ask for assistance. House Speaker Nancy Pelosi has encouraged lawmakers to be on hand for Wednesday evening's session. There's been an international outcry following the order by Afghanistan's Taliban rulers to introduce an indefinite ban on university education for the country's women. It further restricts women's access to formal education, as they were already excluded from most secondary schools. It comes less than 3 months after thousands of girls and women sat university entrance exams across the country, with many aspiring to choose engineering and medicine as future careers.
What it is, it's clearly another broken promise from the Taliban. We have seen since their takeover, and also in the past months, just a lessening of the space for women, not only in education, but access to public areas, their non-participation in the public debate.
The Taliban have permanently sentenced Afghan women to a darker and more barren future without opportunity. No country can thrive when half of its population is arbitrarily held back. Education is an internationally recognized human right, and it is essential to Afghanistan's economic growth and its stability.
Women have already been pushed out of many government jobs or are being paid a slashed salary to stay at home. Last month, they were prohibited from going to parks, fun fairs, gyms and public baths. Leading Taliban members and Afghan clerics are opposed to modern education, particularly for girls and women. However, the international community has made the right to education for all women a sticking point in negotiations over aid and recognition of the Taliban regime. The US Congressional Committee has voted along party lines to make public 6 years of Donald Trump's tax returns, which the former president has long tried to keep secret. The documents could be a useful insight into Trump's finances, who has always presented himself as a savvy businessman. They may also reveal any financial obligations, including foreign debts, that could influence how he governed. The vote is the last opportunity for Democrats to disclose information about Trump's filings before Republicans take control of Congress next year. The Republicans argue that this decision could set up a dangerous precedent and are against the potential release of the papers. The move comes at a difficult time for the former president, who hopes to run again for the White House. The Trump Organization was recently convicted of tax fraud charges, and earlier this week the January the 6th riot panel recommended that the Justice Department pursue criminal charges against former President Donald Trump over his efforts to overturn the 2020 presidential election.
They can try to steal.
Tens of thousands of people are still stuck on the U.S.-Mexico border because of COVID-19 restrictions. Title 42, the policy that guaranteed health authorities emergency powers to stop the spread of diseases, was used to turn away asylum seekers. The measure was set to expire on Wednesday, but Washington has asked the Supreme Court to extend it until after Christmas. Since 2020, the government has expelled asylum seekers over 2 million times and turned away others at the border, despite the U.S. and international law guaranteeing the right to claim asylum.
It's confession time in the European Parliament corruption scandal. Eva Kaili, the former vice president of the institution, is said to have admitted asking her father to hide money. He was intercepted by the police nearly 2 weeks ago now with a suitcase full of cash as he left his hotel in the European district. According to Belgian newspaper Le Soir, Kylie confessed that bags of cash had indeed passed through her flat via her partner, Francesco Giorgi, and former Italian MEP Pier Antonio Panzeri. According to the latest information, the former Italian parliamentarian is the leading figure of the alleged criminal organisation, accused of corruption and money laundering. He also admitted his responsibility during a hearing, but accused another MEP of having received gifts. Italian judges authorised the extradition of Panzeri's wife on Tuesday, through whom the gifts were allegedly channeled. But their lawyer says his wife denies the accusations.
She denied basically everything. When a person is in this situation, clearly she's worried.
Panzeri founded the NGO Fight Impunity in 2019, which he allegedly used to set up his criminal network said to be for the benefit of Qatar and Morocco. On paper, the association appeared respectable. Its board of directors included 2 former European commissioners, a former French prime minister and the former head of European diplomacy, none of whom are under suspicion. The 20 or so searches carried out resulted in the seizure of 1.5 million euros in cash from the homes of the accused and their relatives. Greek MEP Kylie will appear before the Belgian courts on Thursday.
It's another day and there's another strike in the UK. Nurses joined picket lines for a second 12-hour stoppage yesterday, testing a health system in crisis. Today, thousands of ambulance workers in England and Wales are taking industrial action. But this time, around 1,200 armed forces staff are being drafted in to cover the walkouts. They have all undergone a certain amount of training.
So members of the armed forces will be providing non-clinical support and in the form of ambulance driving, and they will be assigned to non-emergency tasks, so there should be no scenario where they need to run red lights. Their task is, as I say, non-life-threatening. If it is life-threatening, then paramedic crews will be deployed to that incident.
The health workers join railway staff, passport officers and postal workers in the UK's biggest strike wave for decades. They're fighting for better pay and improved working conditions in response to a cost of living crisis driven by soaring food and energy prices in the wake of the COVID-19 pandemic and Russia's invasion of Ukraine. Today is a special day for Tamara. She's going to decorate her taxi with Christmas decorations, and her clients will be elderly people to whom she will give a free ride for a few hours around Madrid to see the Christmas lights. The initiative is called Taxi Luth. Emotions run high on this day. It's a day of excitement for them, and even more for us. Just seeing their satisfied faces, how they dress up with their best clothes. They're lovely. The gift is for me. Adolfo and Lucia are neighbours and friends and are part of the 900 elderly people who will benefit from the activity in the capital. Taxi Luth also allows them to break the barrier that separates them from the city centre. Since my husband died 10 years ago, I haven't been going to the centre of Madrid because I can't use the metro nor the bus. Very good, very happy. Let's see what we're going to see. In 2017, when the idea of Taxi Luth was born in Madrid, only 20 taxis took part. This year, there are more than 200 volunteer vehicles, and the initiative has spread to 12 cities across the country. Drivers today are making good on the saying, in bad weather, good riddance, and working for a few hours brings a greater reward. The rain is on us and we're prepared for all of this because this is what we do for them, and that is the best thing, for them to be happy. This is the most beautiful drive of the year. Lucia, Adolfo and Tamara start the 2-hour ride through the main streets of the capital, something that is a novelty for the elderly. The lights, which I'd never seen before. And the movement of taxis. At the end of the journey, the Taxi Luth charity saves the best decorations to last for their passengers. Then they all gather for a cup of hot chocolate for a bit of Christmas magic.